This custom was called terowach, taking the word. It involved taking a message back to the family of an eloped girl that there was no need for alarm or worry, for the man's family had found the girl who seemed to have been lost. This practice was necessary since elopement often accounted for missing persons. Mercifully, Nyar Opala's story was different. Her family had cows and plenty of them. Her father, being a proud and wealthy man, declared, "Oh, so there are no cows. But don't I have cows? Leave my daughter to go where she has chosen. I have cows, so I shall give them to these two, and they will marry." "In any case," Nyar Opala's father remarked, "a poor person's grinding stone also grinds millet and not soil." These philosophical words meant that even the poor could afford to fulfill marriage obligations. "Leave my daughter, let them marry," declared her father. Rawi and Nyar Opala, therefore, got married, but realized that they had to improve their economic situation if their marriage was going to work. At the time, many people had started finding a new prospect for livelihood away from the villages. The couple got on a train and found themselves in Bugerere, a place over 200 kilometers away. While there, the cool pastoral winds produced music to their ears, and they happily sang along. The lovers painted a mental picture that colored their shared future with unending possibilities. They planned to hire land and cultivate cotton to earn the seed money that they would use to start this new and exciting phase in their lives. In the first year, they earned a decent sum from cotton farming. During the second year, they harvested about 600 shillings worth of cotton, which was enough to turn them into minor tycoons. In those days, middlemen would purchase cotton from people like Rawi and Nyar Opala right at their homes and load their trucks in full view of the village folk. It was, therefore, public knowledge that the lovebirds, Rawi and Nyar Opala, were 600 shillings richer from the sale of cotton on that day. When the curtain of night fell, thieves stormed their homestead with machetes to steal their hard-earned money. The thugs broke into Rawi and Nyar Opala's makeshift home with their pangas, or machetes, reflecting the glow of moonlight as they demanded for the 600 shillings. Rawi and Nyar Opala raised their hands in fear and surrender. The thugs exchanged confused looks. Questions seemed to run through their minds. "We do not have guns, so why are you raising your hands in surrender? Put them down," the thugs ordered. Rawi and Nyar Opala dropped their hands and lay face down on the floor in silent prayer. "Tell us where the money is," demanded one thief. "And don't make any noise, or else we shall kill you." "But how are we going to tell you where the money is if we may not make any sound?" Rawi asked, shaking. "Shut up!" shouted the other thief. "Just tell us where the money is." Rawi and Nyar Opala were now very confused and frightened. Keeping quiet would mean trouble for not revealing the money's location, yet speaking and trouble for making noise. In this tense situation, Rawi and Nyar Opala were stuck between the bull's horns, and the thugs were confused. The room was engulfed by an eerie silence, and the couple was beset by skyrocketing adrenaline. One thug raised his machete, and Nyar Opala, through the corner of her eye, saw him lower it and came close to fatally striking Rawi's neck. "They're killing us!" she screamed as a reflex. The thugs dropped their machetes and tried to silence Nyar Opala with pointed index fingers placed on their lips. "Shh!" But she just kept wailing, like the siren of an ambulance stuck in traffic. Panicking, the thugs rushed out to attack the neighbor in the next hut so that nobody could respond to the alarm. Nyar Opala later explained that Rawi was going to be killed since there was no money in the house, as they had given it to her brother-in-law for safe custody. The thugs, after roughing up the neighbor, cut their losses and took to their heels and were never seen again. This was how Rawi and Nyar Opala survived. After the incident, Rawi and Nyar Opala decided to leave Bugerere and return to Katandi to start life all over again. They knew that if they stayed, the only place they would soon occupy would be a shallow grave. Back in Katandi, Rawi decided to flex his newfound financial muscle, courtesy of the 600 shillings. Not only did he buy cows and pay dowry to Nyar Opala's family, he also started a butcher's and a local distillery to make a potent local gin, Nguli, in addition to crop farming. For the first time, it became widely acknowledged that there was cow dung in the homestead. After a while, Rawi and Nyar Opala acquired huge granaries of millet, cassava, simsim, groundnuts, peas, and sorghum, thereby accumulating a lot of food. With expanses of land to till, they required workers to cultivate and harvest the crops they produced. It was common practice to hire laborers who would be paid in kind. Rawi would mobilize 10 to 15 people to till his gardens from dawn till 2 p.m. Thereafter, the laborers will be invited to eat kwon, a type of millet bread, and dried mamba, mudfish, which was prepared in a big saucepan. After such a sumptuous meal, the laborers would leave and return in the evening to enjoy kongo, local millet brew, specially prepared for communal labor. They all sat in a circle using kiseke, long straws, which they used to sip the beverage from a big pot. The kongo served as a social thread that bonded the community together. No money changed hands, but the community was united by a solidarity that grew out of shared duty and meaning. When the kongo was served, some lazy people would try to join the party, but would be forced out faster than they could say the word kongo. That's how the communal drink was used to ensure food security, better collective community livelihood, and a sense of responsibility and enterprise. Everyone knew their roles, and elders were highly respected. Young people could not even fathom disrespecting any elder. The social circumstances were such that their minds would abandon such thoughts. All said and done, Rawi learned that when one had a vision, kept focused on the prize, persevered through obstacles, and remained resilient, one's dreams would eventually be achieved because there is an opportunity in every situation. It was in such a tightly knit society that Rawi and Nyar Opala settled and nurtured a family of their own and were blessed with 5 sons and 2 daughters. Among them was one called Nyathirach, which in full is Nyathi Kirach to Nyathir Kirach Rivon, meaning a child will never be bad in the eyes of their parent, even if society judged them.